Hey everyone, I'm Elfowls, and welcome back to another week of PAC. Last time I played against DJS and grabbed a 4-0 win, bringing me to a 1-0 start for the season. This time I'm playing week 2 against Ab0mlnati0n and the Athabasca Miltanks. I haven't played this coach before, all I know is that they're 0-1 after their first week, so let's just check out the team. They've got Terra Captain Landorus T, Terapagos, Blastoise, Cobalion, Terra Captain Diancie, Chandelure, Sceptile, Weezing, Raichu, Goodra, and Brute Bonnet. This is a very interesting draft. Ab0mlnati0n got Landorus and Terapagos and then basically just picked up a bunch of mid-tiers for the rest of the draft. As far as points go, it's the most balanced team I've seen in a hot minute. That makes it tough to tell what my opponent's brings are going to be. Besides Sceptile and maybe Raichu, every mon looks at least pretty decent here. Obviously the two big threats are Landorus and Terapagos, both of which have a ton of options for sets. In my prep, I felt like I could deal with Landorus okay, but it still has a lot of breaking potential. But the real problem is Terapagos, which can be pretty hard to stop if it gets a turn to set up. I have some real problems dealing with bulky Calm Mind sets. They're really tough to KO without making a couple of sacks. Those two mons are pretty much the guarantees. Outside of that, Chandelure is really hard for me to switch into. I don't have any resists to that stab combo. That and Goodra are also both really good Scarfers, since they both barely outspeed Dragapults when they're at +1. I'll be on the lookout for those, but other than that, I'm not too sure what to expect out of this team, so we're kind of prepping for everything. So I might as well get into what I brought. I was looking for holes in my opponent's draft, and I saw that their only answer to Psychic moves is Brute Bonnet. So I immediately started building with Choice Specs Mesprit, with both Psychic and Psyshock. If Brute Bonnet is removed or just doesn't show up, this set can really go in. The move of choice pretty much just depends on what's around. Psyshock handles Goodra as well as any Calm Mind users, and Psychic is still needed to deal with the most damage to Cobalion and Weezing. Ice Beam of course covers that Brute Bonnet, and it's still a decent mid-ground in front of Goodra, which is nice. And then Trick is nice disruption in front of any bulky setup. I'm mostly looking at Calm Mind, Terapagos, and Diancie that I can cripple with a choice lock-in. We have speed for Adamant Brute Bonnet, which also creeps over uninvested Terapagos, and then the rest goes into maxing out our damage output and bulk. This should be a pretty nice early game breaker. If Brute Bonnet shows up, I do need to be smart about how I play this, but there's still a lot of potential here. So with this Mesprit, I do need a switch into Brute Bonnet if that shows up, in case Mesprit gets caught out by it, so that's why I'm bringing Corviknight. This has enough physical bulk to avoid the 3-hit KO from an Adamant Brute Bonnet crunch. And with the mixed defensive investment, Corviknight can be a pretty decent switch in to Landorus, Goodra, Terapagos, Diancie, and Sceptile. U-turn can be a nice way to pivot into my offensive threats from there. Defog removes hazards set by Landorus or Diancie, and Body Press is a solid way to hit Terapagos. Nice blanket check to a lot of different stuff here. At this point, I realized that with my first 2 months I was building up a pretty Chandelure weak team, so my next spring is going to be this bulky Iron Moth. This is first and foremost a special sponge that can tank some hits from Chandelure, Raichu, and Terapagos, but once we're safely on the field, I'm hoping to click Toxic Spikes. This is the one hazard I was able to fit on my team, but I really like it in the matchup. There shouldn't be any grounded poison types to absorb it, and I love the constant chip on all the bulky switch-ins. A couple of my next brings will really be taking advantage of Toxic Spikes setup. As for the rest of the set, it looks a little whack, but hear me out. Overheat is the only offensive move, and it still gets solid power without investment. I really like still having a strong fire move to hit Cobalion, Weezing, and Brute Bonnet. Morning Sun gets recovery, and then Toxic might seem a little redundant, but if I switch Iron Moth in on a special attacker and they start boosting with Calm Mind, I need a way to immediately put that mon on a timer. Finally, I am Terra Dark on this set. That's actually not the primary Terra option this week, we'll get to that later, but Dark is a backup option in case I need to resist Chandelure's Shadow Ball. And at the very least, Terra Preview might trick my opponent into thinking I'm going for a Terra Dark Terra Blast in front of that Chandelure, forcing some kind of defensive switch. So yeah, kind of a weird utility Moth set, but it's an important glue piece. With Goodra and Diancie hanging around, Moth wasn't going to be doing that much breaking, I don't think, so this is kind of the best set I found for it. Next up, I have Dragapult, and this is the main payoff for Iron Moth spreading poison. This is a max special attack Spell Tag Hex set, which gets some really nice calcs into most of my opponent's team. A boosted Hex should 2-hit KO, especially defensive Diancie, after just a little chip, which is obviously helped by the poison damage. The set is also mixed with Dragon Darts, and that's mostly to hit Goodra on the weaker physical side. With the investment, Dragon Darts is actually a good chance to 1-hit KO max HP Goodra. Will-O-Wisp gives me an option to inflict status directly with Dragapult, and there are some really nice targets for it, like Cobalion and Landorus, which would hate to be burned. And then U-turn is the obvious pivot move, which is especially helpful to chip Terapagos while getting Dragapult out of there. The speed EVs allow me to outrun Raichu since I'm not too concerned about Sceptile in this matchup. Great potential sweeper in the endgame. Next up, we got Urshifu. This is going to be a pretty standard attacker this week. The dual stabs here look pretty nice. Close combat is my best way to break through Terapagos, and Surging Strikes is really nice because it crits through Lando's Intimidate, as well as any defense boosts off of that Diancie. I didn't actually need any other coverage, so I was able to fit Aqua Jet for some nice priority, and U-turn for pivoting. I really love U-turn in front of Terapagos to break Terra Shell, and in front of Brute Bonnet, it puts my opponent in a lose-lose situation, since I either get KO'd or I get momentum. We have enough speed on this to outrun Landorus, and the Assault Vest gives me some extra special bulk to survive certain hits. Most notably, from full health, Urshifu can tank any attack from Shell Smash Blastoise and hit it back with a close combat, the Assault Vest can also come in handy against Terapagos as well as Goodra. And in the last slot, I got Torterra. This is the closest thing I have to a planned win condition with an Iron Defense Body Press set. The EV spread is specially defensive, with some speed for the Creepers, which allows Torterra to set up Iron Defense on Raichu and Brute Bonnet, as well as some variants of Terapagos, Landorus, and Diancie. With a +2 defense boost and Shell Armor to avoid crits, there's not much that can threaten Torterra out, and Body Press becomes a nice defensive win condition. We do need some things removed for that to happen, like there can't be too many strong special attackers left, and this set is kind of walled by both Landorus pre-Terra and Levitate Weezing. But yeah, if those are gone, this set kind of goes off. Earthquake hits Chandelure and punishes neutralizing Gas Weezing, and Synthesis keeps me healthy. And Terra Water might not be necessary, but I expect to use it to stay safe against Chandelure's fire moves, as well as any other random ice coverage coming my way. So that's my team for week 2. Funny enough, this is the same exact 6 brings as week 1, just my top 6 draft picks, but I mean, if they look good, why not? The game plan going in is generally to set T-Spikes down early and wear my opponent down, and then depending on what's left in the game later on, win with either Hex Dragapult or Iron Defense Torterra. So let's see how it works out. See you in the battle. Alright, that is Abomination. And we have, let's see. Oh, no Landorus is interesting. But here we go. Chandelure, Goodra, Terapagos, Diancie, which is Terra Fire, Blastoise, and Raichu. Alright. Very interesting. I'm going to go ahead and say good luck, have fun to Abomination. Alright, and there's no Brute Bonnet, which means Mesprit kind of goes in. I think my options could be Iron Moth to get early T-Spikes, or Mesprit to just get an early hit off. Kind of thinking Mesprit. It leads fine into anything that isn't Chandelure, I think. We can just get a Psychic off. I think I'm cool with that. Yeah, if it's Chandelure, we just switch into Iron Moth and see what happens. Alright. Alright, let's get into it. No Landorus is actually pretty cool. Okay, we have... Ha! Darn it, it is Chandelure. Alright, well I have to make the immediate switch out. Chandelure is threatening to my team. He was right to bring it. Chandelure against Iron Moth, even if it is a Specs Psychic, I think I take that okay. Yeah, I take it. And I get the knowledge that it's Specs, so yeah, we go to Moth. This could be my opportunity to set up some T-Spikes if this turn goes okay. Shadow Ball. Alright, we have 187, 118. That is 69 points of damage from that Shadow Ball. Which looks like it could just be timid damage. It's a max roll for Timid, so good to know. Gonna T-Spike up. That's the goal of Iron Moth. Wonder if that's a roll for Modest Chandelure as well. Could be. I'm gonna guess that it's Specs. Not Specs, Scarf though. It's pretty common on Chandelure sets. Diancie. Okay, Diancie was Terra Fire. It's interesting. But these T-Spikes, they're gonna be nice for me. Alright. So... do I risk Moth this early? I don't think I should. Like, I want to Toxic this thing, but, like, if it goes for Diamond Storm, I'm just so dead. And I kind of want Moth for Chandelure. Then again, it could be nice. Because you could be Calm Minding up. That'd be bad. What do I lose by risking Moth early? I like it as a Chandelure switch, I think. Let's just see what happens. I'll switch to Corviknight. Alright, what do we have? Spikes. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Could gauge damage with Body Press here, could just U-turn out. You could especially be going for Terra Fire here. So yeah, I might just want to U-turn. Terra Fire to avoid the Steel move. That is, you know, pretty likely, I think. Not that I'm carrying it. I'm not defogging because I do really want those T-Spikes to stay up. But it doesn't look like it's a set-up Diancie in that case, which is good to know. It is going to Terra. So my options of switching here could be like Moth, or maybe Urshifu? Urshifu I think is solid enough here. Oh, low battery on this. Oh shoot. Urshifu comes in and, I mean, gets pretty solid damage onto just about anything. Fairy move would really suck here, but, you know, it is what it is. Oh, I forgot to nickname Urshifu, that's too bad. Diancie is going to go for another Spikes. Okay. Just gonna stack them. I respect it. So, if I go for Strikes, it is Leftovers. Alright, good to know. Surging Strikes is resisted by Goodra and, like, Blastoise. Let's go for the CC. Read the switch out. Yeah, there it is. So, Urshifu to Blastoise. And it does take the T-Spikes damage. That's great. Takes more than half. Great. It is Helmet, so yeah, this was the Urshifu check. It's not Fizz Def, I'm guessing it's just max HP. I could U-turn out in anticipation of maybe Chandelure switching in. Or I could just make sure that the Blastoise can't spin. Honestly, I'll take this damage on Blastoise. I think, yeah. I'm going to take the Blastoise. Urshifu KOs Blastoise with Close Combat. Excuse me, guys. I am going to grab my other controller here. Hey, Tiffany. You grab my other controller for me? Thanks. Alright, just in case this one dies, I want to have a backup. Alright, so we take an early lead. It's kind of nice. Terapagos comes in. I just eat U-turn out of this for sure. Let's see if it's boots. It is not boots. Alright. So I'm just gonna, yeah, easy U-turn. It could be Scarf, but honestly finding that out would be kind of nice for me. And having this poisoned is lovely. If it's like lefties, that's chip that you're not getting back. So you can't restore that Terra Shell. Alright, not Scarf. Thank you so much. This is fine. Appreciate it. Alright, yeah. Got my other controller here, just in case this one dies. So, switching to Terapagos, I think Moth is alright. The Moth doesn't do that much back, especially now that it's already poisoned. Could go Corviknight, which is not that useful otherwise. Thank you, that's plenty. Alright. Dark Pulse. 205 to 162. It is leftovers, alright. So we have Terapagos. $43 points of damage from it with a Dark Pulse. That looks like Max Modest. I think a Thunderbolt is actually kind of likely here. What was Dark Pulse for? Probably Dragapult, actually. How much is Thunderbolt doing to me? A little under half. I think I get the... So, I spend half of Corviknight's health potentially here, but I get the slow U-turn. It's gonna spin, okay. That is less ideal. Because I don't have a good switch in here. So Terra could start setting up Iron Defense, potentially. That has potential. Yeah, I don't think anything outspeeds anymore. How much does Terapagos do to Mesprit with Dark Pulse? Dark Pulse, it does like half. Also risks the flinch, obviously. Alright, swapping Moth. This gives me the option to double back to Corviknight. Oh, come on, Switch, you can do this. Oh boy. I really hope this isn't... Oh, gosh darn it. Alright. Well, we're gonna have to reset from here. Alright, we're back. Wasn't too bad to recreate, but, you know, still sucks. I think I go back to Corviknight here. I'd love to defog these spikes away now that the toxic spikes are removed anyway. I think could read that with a Thunderbolt. You know what? Let's test the waters with the Morning Sun. As long as you don't have anything too bad for me. It's Terra Starstorm. Iron Moth. It's Terra Starstorm. Yeah, so that's always doing less than half, which is a good thing. And I am chipping you down with poison, so that's something. So you have Dark Pulse, Terra Starstorm. What do I think you have otherwise? Well, it's Rapid Spin as well. Do we think it's Thunderbolt? I really don't know. I'll test the waters with Corviknight. Could be Calm Mind from here, I guess. Just goes for Terra Starstorm. Great. Doesn't do too much. If it Thunderbolts at this point, I am in kind of a bad spot. Because that kind of spends my entire Corviknight. But I really want to get these spikes out of here. It's pretty important for the rest of my team. Just hope you don't have Thunderbolt, I guess. It's Flamethrower. Okay, same difference, right? But we know the whole set. It is Rapid Spin, Terra Starstorm, Dark Pulse, Flamethrower. So let me check my Torterra here. I would need to Terra. It could be worth trying to keep Corviknight around. Like, what takes a hit from this is my question. Mesprit actually, well, we went through Mesprit. Could go down to a Dark Pulse Flinch, which I don't love. That Terra Starstorm to Corviknight. I do live it. Ah, shoot. Let's just try to roost up. If it goes for Terra Starstorm, it might for Flamethrower. That's fine. Tropagos, KOs, or Flamethrower. Yeah. Now I'm interested in the Urshifu Calc. Against a Terra Starstorm. Max Modest, yeah. Does 115 max. I am in range of that. That's unfortunate. Might have to go Mesprit just to be able to break this thing. Yeah. Luckily, you don't really have good switch-ins to this. In fact, it's probably better for me to use Psy Shock here, I think, right? Just double check the Mesprit calc on this. Mesprit, yeah, both should be doing around half, so this is fine. Obviously, I don't love Dark Pulse here, but what can you do? Honestly, like, yeah, +1 speed Terrapagos. Oh, withdraws. That's interesting. You go into what? Raichu. Okay. This is cool. Do I take this out? I might. Oh, it's just straight up. That's not a sash or anything. Yeah, I'm happy to Psyshock. Taking Raichu down is actually really nice for me, because it means Torterra can a lot more freely Terra here. Psyshock. That has to be like max HP Raichu. Yeah, and even if it's max HP, that's a little... Reflect! Okay. I'm pretty sure Psyshock still counts as a special move for Reflect and Light Screen, so that shouldn't matter for Mesprit. But okay, Mesprit KOs Raichu with a Psy Shock. Alright, cool. So yeah, Max HP, probably light play dual screens. This thing's back in. I mean, I think I just go Iron Moth. Yeah. What else can I really do, right? If you catch me with a Psychic, you know, great play on your part. Psychics, actually, it makes a lot of sense here. It's revealed Shadow Ball, that's all. And I'm pretty sure it's Scarf. It's a double. Ooh, that's a fun double. What could that be out to? It's directly to Diancie. I kind of love that. Alright. Nice. Nice switch on your part. Could I Toxic here? Toxic. If I get this read wrong, I don't have a Chandelure switch in anymore. Well, let's do it. I really love having this poison for Dragapult. It does Diamond Storm. Okay, yeah. Alright. Diancie KOs Iron Moth. Diamond Storm. Okay. Unfortunate, but that's the game. We'll go Urshifu. And this is a pretty good Surging Strikes. Goodra can come in to take it, yeah. But I can close combat or U-turn afterwards, so that's fine. Alright. Goodra's your resist. Urshifu. There it is. Goodra. Any leftovers or anything? It's not gooey, actually, which actually would have been a good play on a bulky set. But this Draco, if it is Timid Scarf, it actually, that's unfortunate, but it always KOs. Let's see, try to CC. Oh. Oh, interesting. Alright. Good call, good call. That's nice. Aqua Jet does two-shot here, and Psychic... Man, I'm just barely in range of all of these hits. Shadow Ball doesn't KO me. So if it's that, it's kind of cool. Alright, I'm losing a lot of resources, but I think this is okay. I'm kind of relying on Torterra in the back, which is looking better and better as we get into it. It does need to tank hits from Chandelure and Goodra, though. That's a big problem. I think Mesprit needs to get in safely one more time. Oh my god! That's like super defensive then, right? Do I take one of those? No? It must be like, I don't know, maybe like max defense, max special attack or something. Or it could just be max defense, period. That was a weird... Hell, what the heck? Chandelure... like, let's say bold. I mean, if it is Scarf, it just locked itself in an energy ball. That Aqua Jet did like, yeah, about a third, which is in line with a max defense Chandelure. That's really interesting. Okay, but Dragapult, Hex should be a very easy KO here. And the Terapagos is definitely in range of Dragon Darts, so this is fine. We have to Hex, I think, yeah. I swear, if you switch in Goodra here, I mean, you're playing all around me in that case, but let's see. Here's the Goodra. I'm just getting all these wrong, aren't I? Alright. Alright, one last check here. Goodra to... what is it? It's, to Dragapult. Not to Dragapult, to Mesprit. Ah, Dragon Darts. I just need like one of these removed, so if this is not Scarf... Yes! Okay, I get the Goodra. Not Scarf, great. Dragapult KOs Goodra with Dragon Darts. It makes sense that it wasn't Scarfed, because the, that double switch out of the Urshifu earlier. Okay, now that Goodra's down, that's actually really nice, because if Torterra gets to set up a single Iron Defense, we're looking pretty good for the game. Dragapult... how useful is Dragapult? Pretty darn useful. Honestly, here's the plan. You have Chandelure, Terapagos, and Diancie left. I'm going to get Mesprit in here. This should be safe enough. Diamond Storm. It's about in line with like a lot of attack investment. Mesprit should be claiming a KO here to max HP Diancie. Psychic's doing about half, maybe a little more. And it definitely KOs the other two. And then I think Mesprit is in until it goes down here. And then from there, Dragapult and Torterra should be able to clean this up. You do switch out. This should be claiming a KO, I think. Terapagos should go down here. That's good. Mesprit KOs Terapagos with Psychic. Okay. Oh, I missed a KO somewhere. Oh, the Urshifu KO? That was Energy Ball. Okay, written that down. Alright, yeah. I don't really have a switch into this, so we're just gonna Psychic. It does outspeed me. Okay, so Chandelure KOs Mesprit with Shadow Ball. Is this like... this tells me like Scarf physically defensive Chandelure, which is so weird. Even if it's Energy Ball, I don't think it has room for the investment, so yeah, we're going Torterra. Probably Terra-ing just to be safe. If I Terra Water, Energy Ball shouldn't even do half. So Terra Water, Earthquake. Honestly, I don't even think this Earthquake KOs, which is crazy. Just come down to the wire, though. My opponent has been playing really well around me, and I've been playing kind of predictably. It is what it is there. Alright. Should shoot any hit from this. If it switches moves, it doesn't switch moves. So it either went for the mid-ground or it's locked in. Oh, Earthquake just KOs. Great. Torterra KOs Chandelure with Earthquake, and all that's left is Diancie. Which, like, should be fine. It's toxic. I just need Chip with Earthquake, and Dragapult guaranteed KOs, as long as it's not a boosting set of some kind. To a KO. Diamond Storm up. That makes a lot of sense, actually. No defense boost. So yeah, Earthquake cleans it. Alright, we did come out with it. Definitely relied on that Torterra in the back. So glad I have it. So bulky, Torterra. What a good mon. Alright, Torterra KOs Diancie with Earthquake. And that is the 2-0 win for us. So we're 2 for 2 this season so far. Always feel good about a nice start to the season, so that's very nice. Alright, but yeah, GG to Abomination. You played, honestly, pretty darn well. And yeah, it was a nice game. So well played to you. Narrow 2-0 win. And yeah, that's going to do it for week 2, guys. If you stuck around through the whole video, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you next Sunday for week 3.